is, everybody? We are so excited to be here today, right after a crazy weekend at NADA.
Holy crap.
It was a fantastic show, one of the best ones that I have been to anyways, so we are definitely on a high coming back home from that.
One of the most exhausting I've ever been to. Oh
Absolutely.
God.
We are worn out, but we are so excited to bring to you today Angela Rizzo. She is the Chief Marketing Officer of VINCUE, so we will welcome her to the stage now.
Hi.
Hey, Angela.
Hey, chicks.
How are you? It's going so great. It was so great to see your face at NADA. And I think that VINCUE booth was the busiest booth that we saw there. You guys were slammed the whole time.
Oh my God. You know, we created this booth. It was Danny Zaslowski's vision because it was different than anything else we've ever done. And he's like, okay, I want the inside to look like an Apple store and I want the outside to look like a Nike ad. And I think we achieved that. It was a lot of fun and it was packed the entire time.
It was wonderful. You guys did amazing.
Your team was so on top of it too. Like they had energy all the way through to the last day. They were doing the demos, making the things happen. Like I would be so proud of them. They are so amazing that they were able to keep going that whole time.
Yeah, you know, we in addition to our sales team, you know, those guys demo all day, every day, you know, over Zoom. So they were excited to be there. But we also brought in our performance management team. And these are the individuals that support our customers. Mm-hmm. So our performance managers contact our customers once a week, a couple times a month, and their whole reason for living is to make sure that our customers are getting the most out of the VINCUE application and driving higher gross, faster turn, making more money. So they were really excited about coming to NADA and staffing the Genius Bar and being able to talk to current customers and new prospects. So it's pretty exciting.
They did a wonderful job. Mm-hmm. It was amazing. We got to sit over there for a little bit and talk with your team and talk to Mark a little bit. And watching your team in action was just mind blowing. You have such a wonderful team. And I think that goes to say a lot about the leaders in your company.
Yeah, thank you for that. We really, really are all about making dealers successful. That is why we are here. We live and breathe to do all the things we need to do to support our dealers. So, you know, that's what makes us happy. And, you know, the show was a lot of fun.
So give us the kind of the 1,000-foot view of what VINCUE does.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so in the simplest terms, think of VINCUE as a full vehicle lifecycle management capability. So we've essentially built a platform that provides capabilities for dealers to plan what they need to buy. So we basically ask dealers, look, you guys need to make sure that you're putting together what's called a buying plan. Mm-hmm. We provide, so in the planning phase, you have a buying plan, you have market analytics, because we ingest data every day from over 45,000 dealer websites. So we know what's selling in these markets. So a dealer can go look at what their competitors are doing, what's happening on their lot, and figure out what are the cars I have to acquire so that I can sell if I'm an independent dealer or a used car dealership. And then how do I make sure that I'm then buying the right car? So first I do my plan, then I buy so I can appraise cars. I have a vehicle buying center that I can use that's part of VINCUE. Then I figure out how do I manage, how do I do my market pricing, how do I do merchandising, how do I do syndication, how do I manage my inventory, and then how do I sell? What are my, we provide retail websites, we provide VIN-specific advertising so that dealers can actually target ads for specific vehicles to specific audiences. So it's this entire cycle. So vehicle life cycle management allows you to plan, buy, manage, and sell your inventory. So that's kind of it in a nutshell.
I feel like so many dealers only focus on the selling and they skip the life cycle part of it. And they skip so much of what capabilities their dealership and their staff have for acquiring vehicles. So having that acquisition piece and the vehicle buying center is huge.
It is.
Yeah.
And
it really is.
You guys had several, or a few anyways, huge rollouts going into NADA, didn't you?
Oh yeah, we had probably 6 or 7 key large features that we delivered in advance of the show. And we actually had some dealers come over to the booth and we actually turned on some of these capabilities. Awesome. It literally is the toggle of a switch. in our platform. So the one thing to remember about VINCUE, if you don't remember anything else, is that it's all one platform and the data is fully integrated. So that's really what sets us apart from the competition. We do a lot, and it's all in one place. You're not swiveling from different capabilities, different screens. It's all in one place. So there were two features that were my favorite. The first one, I don't know if you guys have heard of Vintel. Have you heard of VinLogix and Vintel?
Vintel.
I have not.
Okay. So VinLogix has this capability via Vintel. It's a little ODB2 scanner. Oh. You plug it into a car. So every car has this port. You plug the scanner in, and the scanner will pull all the data about that car. Like, were there any? We call them idiot lights. Did any idiot lights come on? Did somebody turn those idiot lights off? What's the whole diagnostic on this vehicle? So what we've done, one of the things that we released is we launched this integration where we take the data from the scanner from Vintel and we provide it into the VINCUE platform.
Wow! So
now imagine you're a used car dealer and you're gonna do a trade or you're gonna buy a car. You can now get all of the data on what are the diagnostics on that vehicle, and that can help you actually appraise the car and put a number on the car, so that you can tell your customers. Everybody always wants more for the vehicle, right? And the dealer has to justify why I'm not going to give you $5,000 more for, you think it's going to be $5,000 more than what I could actually give you.
Right.
So the dealer can go in and say, well, look, these are all the things that came across on the scan, and in my recon process, I've got to fix these things before I can sell the car. So the value of your car is actually, Y minus 2. It's not Y. Right. So the integration of all that Vintel data and all the diagnostics data is now in VINCUE. So it helps dealers give really accurate appraisals. Then the other thing we're rolling out is called the Trade Network. This is the one thing I think I'm really most excited about. This allows dealers to buy and sell vehicles from each other. So if you're a VINCUE dealer and you want to look at, your market sells, late model Toyotas, but you need some. Well, then you can go talk to one of the Toyota dealers that might be down the street, or they might be 2,000 miles away. And you can see all their inventory because you have the vehicle buying center. So you can see what dealers are putting up for trade. And then in the system, you can actually flag those vehicles, figure out which ones you want to trade, how you're going to buy them from the other dealer, and then figure out how to ship them. So we're also integrated with some shipping companies like Ship Your Car Now, Run Buggy, and AutoSync Logistics. So
you guys really thought of everything. Yeah, they did.
It's everything, and that's kind of the beauty and the curse is that we do so much. We're really trying to make what we're doing very digestible, so that people really understand it's not smoke and mirrors.
Right.
Since we have all the data, we have the ability to allow dealers to use it in that fashion.
That is so neat. I mean, I just don't know why a dealer would not use VINCUE. You guys are.
I ask myself that question every night, Jess.
I bet you do. I love it.
What's funny about that little port you were talking about? I learned about that port today. I learned about that port. So we recently switched insurance companies, and the insurance company we switched to has the little plug-in that goes in that port so that it can track your driving and how long you stop at a stop sign, all that. I went to go put it in, and I opened the fuse panel because I thought that's where it went. My husband said, no, there's a hole. And I'm like, okay, well, you put it in because I don't know where this thing goes. Like, what is this? He said, every car has it.
Well, yes, every car, just about virtually every car has that little scanner. It's usually underneath the dash.
Mm-hmm.
And I just bought a car, and I was going to get like $100, $200 a year discount from my insurance agency, but they wanted me to put this widget in the car that tracks your driving.
That's probably the one I got.
You're talking about, Jess? I didn't want to put that in. Because I'm afraid, I'm a good driver, don't get me wrong, but sometimes the speed limit on the car says it's 25 when it's actually not. So they're going to see me speeding, right? If I slam on the brakes, they're going to see everything I'm doing when I'm driving. And I'm like, you know what? It wasn't worth it to me to put that widget in my car to save $200 because they're going to track everything I'm doing in my car. That scared the bejesus
I'll
out
let
of
you
me.
know in a couple months how it goes.
I had one for a while, and I removed it because I was so annoying. If I hit a dip in the road, even if I was going very slow, it would like screech at me, and I didn't know that it made noise until I did it for the first time. It scared the crap out of me, and I'm like, this thing is watching me be a good driver.
Yeah, I'm nervous.
Proof of that.
Exactly, and I'm nervous because we State Farm is our insurance company.
Same.
What are they going to do? Slap me with a higher bill because the system shows that I'm not a good driver? That's what scares me the most.
Yeah.
Right. So I got that. I didn't put that widget in. I'm like,
Shasta's like, I'm gonna go take that thing out right now.
Shasta, get that widget out of there.
Mine might be different. I don't know. I got the snapshot from Progressive, like no plugs there or anything. I'm not affiliated, but I'm gonna try it out and see. Today was day one, and I drove very carefully on the way to work. I stayed at my stop signs as long as I needed to, and had slow rolls. And it's not sustainable.
It'll keep you accountable, I guess. Especially not.
Yeah,
I like that.
Her car goes too fast for that. She has too much fun.
Love it.
So I love that. And I love working. We work pretty closely with VINCUE, and I love so much working with your team. Everybody in your team is phenomenal. There's never a time that I have a question that I don't get an answer pretty close to immediately. So the leadership at VINCUE is something to talk about because your leadership it's just amazing. It blows my mind.
Well, we really appreciate that because, it's part of our culture, right? We really, like I said at the beginning, we really believe in focusing on dealers and dealerships and what we can do to support them and make them more profitable. And so it starts from the top, like our CEO, Chris Hoke. That's, roughly 50% of all new features and capabilities that he creates come from our dealers. So like we're listening to them all the time in terms of what do they need? How do we make the system better? What are the types of capabilities you need? And then the people that work here, I don't know if it's because most of us are based in Kansas City and it's like a Midwest thing, but the people who work here are awesome. They're fun, right?
Yep.
It's like having a whole company full of the chicks.
No, I love your team. We both love your team so much. And yes. I'm just so glad that you are friends because we love you guys that much. So what do you do outside of VINCUE?
Outside of VINCUE, my personal life, well, there's a few things. So I've always liked to be involved in the community. I think I got this from my mother. Can I tell you a quick story about my mom?
Absolutely.
And then, okay. So my mother was the yard duty lady for like 30 years. Now she's gone. She passed away about 14 years ago, but she would go to the local elementary school and she was the lady that would help the kids with the lunches. Right. And she was the yard duty lady. She would be there at lunchtime, making sure that they all ate lunch, and then they did recess and they all behaved themselves. So my mom would actually see that there were so many kids that didn't eat their whole lunch. Like they didn't even touch their sandwich, or they didn't eat the apple, so my mother would gather all the food that the kids didn't eat, and then she'd distribute it to the children that were hungry, that didn't have a lot to eat. So she worked there for 30 years. Wow. And there would be people that would come up to her, and they called her grandma back then. There would be people, she'd be in the grocery store, and these 25-year-old people, 30-year-olds would, grandma. And my mother's like, who are these people? Because when they were young, they remember her, right, from being young. So I think she instilled in me that it's important to give back to the community that you live in, right? Mm-hmm. So I've been involved in several nonprofits. Mid-America Assistance Coalition is a nonprofit I was on the board of several years ago, and this is one that's focused on the homeless population, emergency services, tracking the types of services people need, and then pointing them into the right direction, because there are hundreds of agencies in Kansas City that help people in need. And MAC, Mid-America Assistance Coalition, was that agency that kind of did a lot of oversight and coordination. But most recently, I've been on the board of a nonprofit called Save Inc. And I've been on 6 years. And I headed up the nominations committee. and curated our board. So we have an amazing board, people from all walks of life, all different companies in Kansas City, just an amazing thing. And so Save Inc. is all about that housing is really a human right. And so Save Inc. has been around for 35 years. It started out as an AIDS hospice 35 years ago, where, it was only an 8-room home where people went to die with dignity. And over the years, it's grown into a 108-unit campus where we provide what's called permanent supportive housing. So the philosophy at Save Inc. is that it's a housing first model, which means in order for people to fulfill what they need to fulfill in their life, they need to be housed first. Mm-hmm. They need to have a place to live, right? So Save ensures that people get housed. We don't put any conditions on housing someone, right? We take you as you are. And so we get them housed in apartments, and there are single people and, women with children and families. And we also have a shelter called Haven, which is Pride Haven, which is for LGBTQ youth who are homeless. So we try to ensure that the people who have the most needs get the shelter, and then from there, then they can either, if they need to take meds, or they need to, try to find a permanent job, or they need to look at their benefits. We have program managers and caseworkers that actually help them, figure out all of the services. We wrap services around the housing. So it's not about just giving somebody a place to live. They have services that help them, get back on their feet. And we have a lot of stories where people have actually kind of, I don't want to call it graduated, but they've kind of graduated out of Save Inc. housing, and they move, they have a very great job, and then they move into, a regular apartment, or they'll buy a home or whatever. So yeah, so I've been involved with Save Inc. for 6 years. We're doing a huge event on May 10th here in Kansas City. It's called Haven, The Way Home, and that's our annual fundraiser. So we're planning to raise about $250,000 to $300,000, and we're well on our way. We've raised about half so far, and would encourage people in the Kansas City area to go check us out and buy a ticket and come to the event.
That's amazing.
That is super awesome. What is what's the location of that event?
It's going to be at the Gallery and the Kill Devil Club, which is in downtown Kansas City. It's at 14th and Main. And it's going to be from 6 to 11. And, cocktails, there'll be an auction, there'll be a fund in need. It's going to be essentially be like, have a plated sit-down dinner. So it's going to be like a fancy event, and then a party after the program. So, it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Reminds me of the gala that just had here.
Yeah, I know, the Children's Center Gala. Mm-hmm. I love that. That is wonderful.
So is are the units, are those pretty much always full and have, quite a bit of a waiting list?
Yeah, we're at 100%. Yeah, we're at 100% occupancy right now. 2 or 3 years ago, we actually built a brand new facility called All Haven. It was a 50-unit apartment complex, and it had beautiful, hardwood floors and new stainless appliances. I mean, when you walk in, you're like, well, I could live here. I mean, that's what we want. That's how we want people to feel proud of, where you're living. Just because you're homeless or you're low income doesn't mean you should have to live in a place that's substandard, right? Absolutely. So, so that's pretty exciting, and I've been really proud of being involved with Save Inc. and all the great work we've done in our community.
Man, that's awesome. And it says so much about your heart. I love it.
Thank you. Well, like I said, I think my mom instilled this in me, and I'm just trying to do good and to make her proud, and to, continue that legacy.
I love that.
I would definitely say you've achieved that.
I think so too. Man.
So another amazing organization that you sit on the board of, and I don't know how you sleep with all the amazing things you do, is Women in Automotive. Yeah. And we are lucky enough to work with you on a project coming up in March. I almost said May because we were just talking about May. March 6th, they're in Kansas City.
Yep. Yes.
Talk to us about
Should I talk about that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, so Women in Automotive is all about really empowering women in automotive, getting them linked up into a network of other women, trying to help people look at like what's the next opportunity that you want to look for in your career. You know, you and I, we met at Used Car Week in November. I feel like I've known you guys my entire life, right? But we just met a few months ago, and so to be able just to meet people and connect, right, and then build these relationships. I mean, I've only been in automotive a little less than 2 years, and when I see people at shows or events, I feel like these are my long lost friends, and that's something that's really special about the automotive industry. Is the people that are here. Maybe that's why VINCUE is such a great place to work, because we're a part of the same industry. It's automotive, and there's something about being in this industry that is very, very special. So there's 2 big events coming up for women in automotive. We decided, me and the chicks, we were going to do a regional event. The first regional event, I think, it's a social. It's going to be on March 6th from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. It's going to be at NCM headquarters in Kansas City, right? So we're bringing in the NCM crew. They've actually donated the space.
How awesome.
That's amazing of them.
Right? You guys are doing all the social media. You guys have stepped up. VINCUE will sponsor the lunch. And it's an opportunity for, 50 or so women to get together that are in the surrounding area. Come have a little lunch. Come listen to a few speakers. Come learn about women in automotive. And let's become part of something bigger.
What's really cool about this, and we actually learned this at NADA, is that if you come to the luncheon and you are not yet a member of Women in Automotive and you want to become a member of Women in Automotive, the price of the luncheon is $25, and that will be taken off of your yearly membership. So make sure that you come to this luncheon, because it's going to be such a great group of women, empowering other women and bringing other women into this industry that we have gotten to call home now for so many years.
Exactly. And then if that's not enough, there's a big event in May. Now, this is their annual conference. So it's the 10-year anniversary of Women in Automotive. They're having a huge conference out in Colorado Springs at the Cheyenne Mountain Resort. This place is going to be stunning and beautiful, right? And fun.
Yes.
So that's $7.95 for a ticket. That's not that bad. That doesn't include lodging, of course, or airfare. But for the conference itself, right now, $7.95 is the rate between now and February. So if you're planning on going, get your ticket now while you got that discounted price. But it should be a great conference. You guys planning to be there?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're actually covering it. We're covering the conference alongside Car Guy Coffee, and we are so excited about it.
We're going to be getting a chance to interview every speaker and get to go a little bit more in depth with them, because I know every time I get off stage, I'm like, oh, why didn't I say this? Why didn't I say this? Even though you plan everything out, you either run out of time or you forget where you were. I think that's just human nature. But so we want to make sure that they have a chance to say everything that they wanted to say. And there's going to be some really amazing speakers there. I know that only a few of them have been released, but this is very, very big for the automotive industry, and especially for women. 10 years of this movement, and it just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah, I think they're really starting to come into their own now. Absolutely. And I think it's really starting to have a lot of momentum. I've spent a little bit of time with Veronica Dunford, who's kind of the head person in charge, and she's just incredible and amazing. And I want to do everything I can to make this successful and help Veronica be successful. That's what this is all about.
And we're
That's
so
what
excited.
Women in Automotive is all about.
Yeah, and we're excited to have the opportunity to do this along with you and to help you along the way. This is so exciting for us as well. And Angela, I know we're running out of time here, but I want to take a second to hit on your podcast, because you have a really awesome podcast too. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, Q the Next Leader, CUE the Next Leader. I think I've got about 30 episodes that are out there, and it's a combination of interviewing VINCUE customers, VINCUE partners, industry leaders. There's a lot of fun podcasts out there, anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes. I got to get you two, Jess and Shasta. I've got to get you two scheduled.
We would love
right, for an interview in the next couple of months here. But yeah, I started Cue the Next Leader last year, and it's really grown, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, how much fun is it to have a podcast? You guys are doing it every day.
It's so much fun. And I look back to, and we talk about this all the time, but when we wanted to start this up, like the day before we went into almost full-blown panic attack.
Did. We were like, do we have to do this?
Like, what do we think we're doing? We know nothing.
We don't know what we're doing.
Just absolutely panicked. And then once we started, we're like, oh, we need to do this every day. Like it was like an adrenaline rush. And fun. Getting to, we're 10 months in now. And we get to hear, I mean, we just left NADA, and the amount of people who came up to us and recognized us
awesome.
And told us the impact that us and our guests have had on their life is like, okay, that's why we're doing this thing.
That's great. You guys are you've inspired me. We met, like I said, at Used Car Week. Yep. You guys came up to me, introduced yourselves, and then I haven't been able to let you go.
Right.
Please don't let us go. You're stuck with us.
I love it.
We're family now. This is just who we are, what we do, and we're not going anywhere.
So one last question. How about those Chiefs?
How about those Chiefs?
We got out just in time for the NFL to move right on into Vegas.
I got one of these, though.
You
I'm
did.
So excited about it. It costs way too much money, but I got it. Now they have to win.
Let me just say this. Let me just say that they're going to win. I'm predicting it right now.
Yes.
And when I spoke to my friends when we played the Bills and then we played the Ravens, everybody's like, "Oh, they're not going to win." I'm like, "Oh no." When you have Patrick Mahomes, anything is possible.
Yes.
Anything. Right? They were on the road. They had to go to Buffalo and they had to go to Baltimore, but you still have to beat the Chiefs to get to the Super Bowl, my friends.
Exactly.
Yep.
And here we are. Can't wait.
So I saw your post on LinkedIn the other day about your history with, when you were younger, loving the 49ers and then moving to Kansas City and falling in love with the Chiefs. How torn are you on this?
I'm like, it's all about the Chiefs. Here's the thing. When I was younger, Joe Montana was the hero, and I loved Joe Montana. He really put the 49ers where the 49ers, he and Bill Walsh, who was the coach at the time. Then I moved to Kansas City, and Joe Montana comes to be the quarterback of the Chiefs.
Oh, good.
That's what it was like. It was all about Joe Montana. And so from then on, it was all about the Chiefs. And when you live in a city that has a program like the Chiefs have now, I mean, it's so impossible not to get caught up in the energy and fall in love with the Chiefs. Plus, I love that darn Casey Wolf. I used to go to the games
and always
go to the games just to see the Wolf. Oh my God. And I'll have to send you this photo. When we moved down to the plaza, we bought a condo on the plaza, and I was walking on the plaza, and the Wolf was down there, and they interviewed me.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's a picture of me. I look like I'm 10 years old at Disneyland, embracing the Wolf.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
I feel that energy. Like,
I know.
Oh my God. That would be me.
I love it. I love it.
Well, we are very excited for the game on Sunday.
We are.
And go Chiefs, as always.
Go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs.
It's going to be a blast. You guys going to have a Super Bowl party?
I don't know what we're doing. I know we'll find somewhere to watch it, whether it's from the comfort of our own home or at a friend's house. We'll figure something out. But
yeah, watching it nonetheless.
We're watching it no matter what. Somehow, some way, that game's being watched.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
If I have to drive to Kansas City and watch it from Angela's house.
Yeah.
I'm going to be making pizza, so that's my thing. And right now, just two of my friends are coming over. It's going to be pretty quiet. So, yeah, I'll have enough. You guys want to come on up? We'll have enough pizza to watch the game together.
Love that.
That's the best.
All right. Well, I guess we will go ahead and wrap it up now. In a world where you can be anything, be kind, because you never know what battles others are facing. So while out in the world this week, remember to light it up. I am Jess.
I'm Shasta.
And
I'm Angela.
And we've been the chicks in charge. Thanks so much for watching, everybody.
Thank you.